I've been trying to figure out how I'm going to relaunch this channel. I haven't updated it in forever. And, you know, it's just sitting there, and I kept meaning to update it and get back to it. And I had all these grand ideas, and just things didn't work out. And now it is halfway through 2021. I think we can all agree that last year was kind of a bust. It's not one that we want to remember. And, you know, not just on the global or national level, but me personally, 2020 wasn't the best year. So I've been looking forward to this year, and I always had it in my mind that I'd launch a new channel, or at least revisit one of my old channels, and start celebrating the things that made 2021 great. It's not 2020 anymore. There should be a lot of awesome things that have happened this year, right? Compared to last year, certainly. And now it's almost halfway through the year and I haven't done anything. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get something going. My name is Derek M. Cook. Welcome to It's Pronounced Cook. In this introduction or reintroduction, you know, I just wanted to take a second to check in. You know where I'm at right now? I'm actually in the parking lot at the Joy Cinema. This is going to be the first time that I've seen a movie at the Joy Cinema in over a year. I've seen a couple of movies since, but the Joy is special. There's just something magical about the Joy Cinema, and I'm really excited to be here. I can't wait to go see Jeff Martin, the man who runs the place, and some friends and all that, and the movie itself. You know, I'm going to wear my mask. I'm going to be safe. But they're showing Creature from the Black Lagoon in 3D. I can't miss that. There's like a rule. It's almost a law. If Creature from the Black Lagoon, especially in 3D, is showing anywhere within a 100-mile radius of me or a 1-hour drive, I gots to go. So, I'm going. I'm here to see Creature. I'm going to put on the 3D glasses and I'm going to get lost in that magical black and white three-dimensional world. I'm going to hang out with the gill-man and Julie Adams, and I'm just going to have a good time. Of course, I'll probably be asked to introduce the film. That's what I used to do anyway. At least I hope I'm asked to introduce the film. I didn't bring any of my equipment to record that introduction for the podcast, though. This is for me, you know, just to kind of get back to things and back to normal. There's a lot going on in my world, and I really am eager to share a lot of that with you guys and gals here on the channel. So please consider subscribing and doing the thumbs up thing and ringing the bell and all the other stuff that you're supposed to do to help you keep up with your favorite YouTubers, because I've got a lot that I want to share. A lot that is happening in my life these days, and they're good things for the most part. Thanks for watching. I'm going to go check out the movie. It has been over a year since I've been asked to or been able to introduce a movie, so I'm a little rusty, but I want to welcome you to the Joy Cinema. And I want to give a big shout out to the man in the booth up there, Jeff Punk Rock Martin, for bringing in my favorite movie. Can we give him a round of applause? Woo! Right on. Well, my name is Derek M. Cook, and I am the writer, producer, and host of the Monster Kid Radio podcast. We've been going for over 500 weekly episodes now. We're never missing a week. We talk about classic and not so classic monster movies. Every episode at www.monsterkidradio.net. I even got some business cards out in the lobby. If you want to talk about monster movies, that's where you want to go online to do it. I'm going to talk about this movie tonight. This is my absolute favorite film, Creature from the Black Lagoon. Yes! Yes! Is there anybody here who has not seen this movie before? Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, man. I hope you love it. If you didn't, I don't want to talk to you after the movie. But if you love it, please, you know, I hope you dig it. This movie is fascinating to me. It came out in 1954. It's a Universal monster movie. Now, Universal is the home of classic monsters, right? You know, Dracula, Frankenstein, the Wolfman, and all of those. What's fascinating about this movie to me is that it gets lumped in with the pantheon of the classic monsters. But unlike the classic monsters, this is an original creation. Dracula and Frankenstein have literary roots, right? The Wolfman, and there's been werewolf legends going back years. Creature from the Black Lagoon, made up whole cloth for Universal. And for it to be able to be included in the mix with Frankenstein, with Dracula, with the Wolfman, with the Mummy, with the Invisible Man, with Phantom of the Opera, the Hunchback of Notre Dame, I think that speaks volumes about this monster. Now, the Creature from the Black Lagoon is oftentimes called the gill-man. Another reason why this movie is so fascinating to me is the gill-man itself. It is a really cool monster design. It's sleek, dare I say it's a little sexy, it's awesome. And it was created by a woman, which is also something really interesting because back in the 50s, you didn't have a lot of women, at least credited, as working in the departments that would be responsible for making the monster suit. Her name was Millicent Patrick. Now, she also worked on things like This Island Earth, Abbott and Costello Meet Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. She was an animator for Disney, she was an actress, she was a model. She did a lot, but her name's not in the credits here either. And part of the reason is because the head of the makeup department was Bud Westmore, who was very talented, but his ego was even bigger than his talent, and he didn't want to be overshadowed by some woman who made the monster. So for years, this monster was credited to Bud Westmore, when really it was created by Millicent Patrick. Somebody who is credited in the film, another woman, Julie Adams. She is the female lead, yes. The reason I get excited is, well, I used to call her my 1950s girlfriend. I'm in love with Julie Adams in this film. She is a woman with agency. She is a fellow scientist. She's, for the most part, treated as an equal through most of the movie. Things kind of fall apart to the end because, well, you know, it's the 50s. But she's treated with a lot of credibility, and I really appreciated that. Well, she's no longer with us. She did pass away a few years ago. But before she passed away, she did a lot of horror conventions. And I was lucky enough to meet her a few times and interview her and put her on my podcast. And I always like to ask her questions, not just about this movie, but about her other movies as well. Because I wanted to keep things interesting and, you know, maybe ask her about something that people don't normally ask her about. She worked on a lot of Westerns and other dramas and things like Bend of the River. And she worked with people like James Stewart and Rock Hudson. And in these movies, she always wore these elaborate, beautiful gowns. And I asked her once what she enjoyed wearing more, these beautiful gowns or this really awesome white bathing suit that she wears in this film. She stopped and thought about it for a second, but then smiled and said, I liked them both. So if you like looking at her in the bathing suit, it's okay. She liked it too. Okay. Another question that I asked her once was, if I'm introducing this movie to people who have never seen it, what do I need to tell them to try to get them excited and hyped up? And again, she stopped, she paused, she thought, she looked at me and she grinned, and she just said, you tell them it's a good movie. So that's all I'm gonna say. This is a good movie. I hope you guys and gals dig it. My name is Derek M. Cook. You can find me at monsterkidradio.net every week where I'm talking about monster movies. Once again, big thanks to Jeff Martin and the rest of the Joy family and friends and staff for keeping the theater alive all through 2020 and for bringing in kick-ass movies like this. Let's give them another round of applause and we'll start the film.